Alright guys, welcome to Dropping Dimes. I am your host, Flavo Rihanna, brought to you by Four Corner Sports. Alright guys, so the first part of the play-in is already over. Alright, you ended up having Hornets and Pacers, Celtics and Wizards, Lakers and Warriors, and Grizzlies and Spurs. Alright, so that's all concluded right now. As we speak at this very moment, the Wizards and Pacers are playing, so that lets you guys know that, look, the Celtics beat the Wizards, right? And I was wrong about that. I picked the Wizards to beat the Celtics in the upset, and I got it right with the Pacers beating the Hornets, all right? What I ended up saying about the Pacers and the Hornets was true. Pacers had a lot of people that has experience in the playoffs, right? Malcolm Brogdon, you have Sabonis in there, all right? You have players what's it called? Drew Holiday, not Drew Holiday. The other Holiday brother, he played outstanding there too. Those guys were playing great against the Hornets. They took advantage of a young team. All right, the team just right now they're just very early into their rebuild mode. All right, I love the direction that they're going. I love the fact LaMelo Ball looks like a player that can actually lift up all his teammates, make them a whole lot better. All right. Sounds somebody like familiar, right? Sounds somebody like a Magic Johnson. Sounds somebody like a LeBron James type of player who has the ability to pass the ball, make all his teammates better, and lift everybody up, right? Not saying that LaMelo Ball is going to be a LeBron James or a Magic Johnson, but he has that, pizzazz. He has that little bit of a showtime in him, all right? He is a show to watch. He is somebody that you're going to go to the arena and watch, right? Trust me, if I had the ability to watch LaMelo Ball play here at Madison Square Garden, I would, all right? But just the way things are, tickets are kind of hard to get. I don't know if you guys saw, Bleacher Report ended up reporting the Knicks, their tickets ended up selling out like crazy and within minutes. Governor Cuomo ended up raising up the attendance capacity, so there's going to be 15,000 fans inside of MSG. It is the largest indoor game that's going to be held since the pandemic. But that's neither here nor there. We're not talking about that right now. We are talking about the play-in. And yes, the Hornets just got bullied. They got beaten down 144. They ended up surrendering 144 points to the Pacers. And the Hornets ended up scoring 117 points. It wasn't even close. All right. The game was already over by the first quarter. So Pacers are moving on. They're facing the Wizards. Wizards ended up losing to the Celtics. I mean, Jason Tatum, me oh my, guys. This guy looked great, dropping 50. All right, Kemba Walker doing his thing too. All right, they're all playing, phenomenally well against the Wizards, right? And they took advantage of the fact that, hey, who's gonna stop Jason Tatum on the Wizards? Who was gonna be able to stop him? Russell Westbrook's not gonna be able to stop Jason Tatum. He's not gonna be able to, stop him that great. All right, he has to worry about Kemba Walker. All right. You don't want to have Bradley Beal expend all his energy on the defense because this guy's a lightning rod on offense, right? So Jason Tatum did what he did, and there was no way stopping it. Great game, 118-100 Celtics. Celtics move on. They're going to face the Brooklyn Nets, right? I mean, that's a scary task, but that they're going to be facing, but eventually somebody was going to have to face the Nets, right? There was some things on Twitter being said that it seemed like and this is also because of Russell Westbrook's comments. I can't remember exactly word for word that he ended up saying, but it just seemed like from what people were saying on Twitter, all right, and I kind of got that vibe a little bit too, that he was kind of dodging the Brooklyn Nets, did not want to face KD in the first round. Look, I totally understand that. Look, who wants to face the Brooklyn Nets with that trio of a three-headed monster that is KD, Kyrie, and James Harden, right? Nonetheless, you have Joe Harris, Nicholas Claxton on that team as well. DeAndre Jordan, even though he's not with the DeAndre Jordan when he was in the Clippers. They look phenomenal from spot 1 all the way down to spot 12. They look great, all right? They're a very hard team to stop. But yeah, the Celtics have a huge, task ahead of them by facing the Brooklyn Nets. The Wizards, as of right now, they are looking pretty stellar. 91-66 in the third quarter. It looks like it's going to be official that the Wizards end up beating the Pacers, and then they're going to be moving on to go face the Philadelphia 76ers, which that, in my opinion, I don't think that favors them either. I think whoever the Wizards were going to face in the first round, they were going to get eliminated, possibly swept. I'm going to give the Wizards, as right now, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a preview. I'm going to give the Wizards one game. They're gonna lose in 5 against Philadelphia, and Philadelphia's gonna win on their home court. All right. The reason being why I'm saying that is due to the fact that who's gonna stop Joel Embiid? Ben Simmons looks like one of the best, best guard or wing defenders that we have in this game right now. All right, he can guard positions from 1 through 5. That is true what he ended up saying, that Rudy Gobert cannot guard point guards. He cannot guard shooting guards. He can guard centers. He can guard power forwards, but that's about it. And Ben Simmons can do it all. So whoever he decides to choose to lock down, whether it's Beal or Westbrook, chances are he's going to try to lock down Beal to force Westbrook to start shooting jump shots. It's going to be a wrap. So that's that. I mean, as of right now, yeah, congratulations, Wizards. You are going to be moving on out of the play-in and going into the playoffs, facing the 76ers in the first round. Now, last night we had a great playoffs, a great play-in with the Memphis Grizzlies and the San Antonio Spurs. All right, I had picked the Grizzlies because of the fact that the Spurs, they don't have that star or superstar to at least get them over the hump. Greg Popovich has done phenomenal work with the talent that he has ahead of him, right? He has DeJounte Murray, he has Rudy Gay, and DeMar DeRozan, and that's pretty much about it. I mean, he doesn't have, and Patty Mills, but that's pretty much about it. I mean, those are at most B plus players. They're not your A's, your A minus, your A plus type of players that you need to at least try to make a push into the playoffs, right? And they just didn't have a shot against a gritty, tenacious, team as the Memphis Grizzlies, led by John Morant. Also follow up with Dylan Brooks. I mean, Jonas Valanciunas, had a phenomenal game last night. Ended up having a double-double, having 23 rebounds, really controlling the paint, really making sure that he was able to out-muscle his way and getting rebounds. I mean, who was going to stop him? Who was really going to stop him on San Antonio? Nobody, all right? And it was a closer game than I personally expected, because I expected the Grizzlies to at least run away with the game. They ended up winning by 4, right? But that's neither here nor there. They got the job done. I'm looking at the stats again just to make sure I had everything correctly. Yeah. Who was going to be able to stop him? I mean, Jakob Poeltl. I mean, you had DeMar DeRozan. Keldon Johnson. They were not going to be able to stop Jonas Valanciunas. I mean, Valanciunas did whatever he wanted and then some on his performance against the Spurs. All right, double. All right, dropped 23 points. He had 23 boards. He had 1 assist. I mean, this guy was a man amongst boys against the Spurs, and that's the reason why they ended up losing. They needed a bigger body. I mean, Jakob Poeltl is a nice bench player, but he's not suitable against bigger talents. I'm not saying that Valanciunas is a great talent like that, but if they were facing somebody like Jokic, I mean, how many boards would Jokic be able to get off of the Spurs? All right, or somebody like the Knicks who plays tenacious defense, right? How many boards is Julius Randle, Nerlens Noel, Mitchell Robinson if he was healthy, or how about Joel Embiid from the Sixers? Yeah, so they had I think Memphis, the only downside to it is that they didn't run away with the game, but at least they got the job done, right? Jaren Jackson, 10 points. Dylan Brooks, 24 points. John Morant, 20 points. 6 boards, 6 assists. Job well done, guys. You guys are facing the Golden State Warriors, all right? And moving on to the Golden State Warriors versus the LA Lakers. That was a game. I had picked the Warriors to win, all right? But the thing with that is that the Warriors, they lost the game in the third quarter. And the reason why I say they lost the game in the third quarter is because LeBron didn't have it, together by then. I believe he was shooting like 2 for 11. He only had about 9 points. But the Warriors were making so many mistakes, so many sloppy passes. They had 9 turnovers in the third quarter, all right? They allowed the Lakers to get close, and then by the end of the third quarter, I believe they were leading. They were leading by like 1 to 2 points, right? The Warriors, they were leading as many as like 13 points at that point. They let the lead go away. They let LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Alex Caruso take the lead, and that was a huge mistake. I mean, you can't make mistakes against the Lakers. You cannot make mistakes against the Lakers. You can't give them extra possessions, all right? They were doing fine, but they weren't boxing out. They weren't closing out on the 3-point line. And they were allowing, sloppy. They were allowing, plays that normally that Draymond Green was able to get a hold of. They were going past them, but that's because Draymond Green was trying to play, safety. He has to control every single part of the defense. But yeah, I mean, I picked the Warriors to win because of Steph Curry. Steph Curry was going on fire, going into the play-in, and what's it called? He just fell short. He fell short by 3 points. All right, but they're going to be facing the Memphis Grizzlies. In my opinion, I have the Warriors winning that game. They're beating the Grizzlies. They're at home. It should be, home field advantage for the Warriors since they're going at home. Plus, they're facing John Morant, who, again, he's in another playing situation. Last year, he faced the Blazers. This time, he's going to be facing the Warriors. Back-to-back years, in the play-in, does not come successful, unfortunately, for John Morant. And reasons being is just that Steph Curry is just too much. He scored 37 points against one of the best defenses in the Lakers. Imagine what he's going to be able to do against the Grizzlies. I predict, honestly, at least 40, all right? Because he has to do the majority of the scoring for the Warriors to at least have a chance. And, yeah, in a single elimination game, I'm going to give him the edge over John Morant. Due to experience, championship team. I mean, it's not just only him. Not only Draymond, you also have Kevon Looney that's there too. You have veterans like Andrew Wiggins, who, if he actually picks it up, this team can actually do something in the first round. And if they make it to the first round, they'll face the Utah Jazz. But yeah, that's everything that I have to conclude with this play-in. I personally like it. I think it makes it great for basketball. I think it makes it great for all these other teams where they're not resting their players, where they're forcing their players to at least try to avoid falling down to as close to the 7th seed as possible. This is phenomenal basketball. I love this thing. And we're going to have more of it tomorrow. Tomorrow's game is going to happen at 9 o'clock. Like I said, at Golden State. Should be great, guys. Until then, guys, I'm your host, Flavo Rihanna, and I'm going to give you guys a rundown on the playoffs in the first round after Friday. Until then, guys, I'll see you guys then, and have a good one. Please hit that like and subscribe button, guys, and I'll see you guys later. Peace, guys.